Hello, Dr. Su. I'm Monica Singh with my teammate Chirag Dave. We are here to present our research that is based on collaborative filtering recommendation algorithm based on association rules and clustering techniques. In this paper, we will go through the problem statement, introduction, our design, and implementation part. So, in abstract, we have explained the problem in detail, what we are going to represent. So the recommendation system are widely used in e-commerce application, both in hotel or in retail. So many recommendation systems are based on collaborative filtering techniques, but there is a key challenge to the recommendation system for providing the high quality, that is the cold start situation. To handle this situation, we have combined both the association rules and clustering techniques. Cold start is a problem where a new user or hotel is added to the recommendation system, then the recommendation system will not give the desired results. So to handle that in our research paper, we used the association rules where we use the FP growth algorithm, and for the clustering technique, we use the k-means clustering. Now I will move to the next slide, the introduction, where Chirag will explain like in detail.
Hello, Professor. So we will look into the introduction part. Recommendation system plays an important role in today's times, and it caters to a variety of the industries and the sectors, such as and different domains such as books, movies, TV shows, on e-commerce websites, restaurants, hotels, medias, news. Some of them examples are like Amazon's or the Netflix. When you watch, they suggest what are the other suggestions or trending things going on. So let's focus on our subject, hotel recommendation system. And hotel recommendation system have gained a huge popularity, especially post-COVID times, because of the rebounding travel industry. And so it definitely suggests or recommends the different variety of the hotels based on the user's preference. So hotel recommendation system again recommends the hotel to the user based on the preference of the user, which we have seen here. There are conventional recommendation system methods are categorized into the three parts. The first one is collaborative filtering approach. Second one is content-based approach, and the third one is hybrid of both collaborative filtering approach and the content-based approach. So let's look one by one all. So collaborative filtering approach is it recommends based on the user item, historical interactions such as the rating or feedback. And content-based approach extract the mutual information between the user and the system to suggest the recommendation. And as we have discussed earlier, the hybrid approach is a blend of both into the recommendation. Now let's look at the another part. As my colleague Monica has discussed, the cold start problem is one of the major issue in the any recommendation system, where there is no enough data provided for the user or the new item, which is in our case is a hotel. So at that time, it is the major issue. So cold start problem is one of the major issue which hinders the performance of the recommenders. The new user will be given non-personalized recommendation until an adequate number of ratings are collected for the user. The possibility that new item will be recommended to the user is minimal because recommendation system does not have enough data to suggest, or they haven't figured out the needs of the customer. Because that not much enough data is available, so they cannot recommend proper. They are recommending it, but they are not recommending it the proper suggestions. So this problem should be addressed because the initial recommendation given to a new customer plays an important role in deciding the user's satisfaction and retention. Only if good quality recommendation is given, the user will come back to the site. We all have faced this issue. If the we are not given the proper sorting or proper recommendation, it feels that we are not getting the good customer experience or the good user experience. So in this paper, we proposed a personalized recommendation approach that joins the association rule technology, user clustering technology, item clustering technology. Users are clustered based on users rating on item, and each user cluster has a cluster center or central, you can say. The recommendation Joining association rule, user clustering, and item clustering collaborative filter is more scalable and more accurate than the traditional one. Now let's look at the related work which has been done. With the development of the internet and electronic commerce system, there are amounts of information arrived we can hardly deal with. It's a huge amount of the data. We can call it a very big data, but to gain or extract the information which is necessary from out of it, it's a challenge now. Thus, personalized recommendation system service exists to provide us the useful data employing some information filtering technologies. Information filtering technology has two main methods: the content-based filtering and the collaborative filtering. Let's look at them. Collaborative filtering provide to be one of the most effective for its simplicity in both theory and in the experiment or implementation, practical use. Collaborative filtering approach collects user rating on items to predict user preference based on the options of other users who share similar interests. The approach filters items and makes recommendation. So there are two methods in the collaborative filtering: user-based collaborative filtering and item-based collaborative filtering, which we have seen here. So let's move to the next slide. User-based collaborative filtering. It assumes that a good way to find a certain user interest item is to find the users who have a similar interest. And the item-based collaborative filtering method, it fundamentally has the same scheme as user-based CF. It looks into a set of items and then targets the user has already rated and computes how similar they are to the target item under recommendation. The challenge of this two CF method are cold start and sparsity. Although hybrid filtering was proposed as a solution to the limitation of CBF and CF, hybrid filtering still does not adequately addresses issues such as data sparsity, where the number of items in the database is much larger than the customer typically selects, and a gray shift, which refers to as a typical users. To solve the problem of cold start and sparsity in collaborative filtering, in this paper, we proposed a personalized recommendation approach that joins the association rule technology, user clustering technology, and item clustering technology. We can look at the functional architecture of the proposal recommendation system here. New user and FP growth algorithm for enriching user profile.
Yeah, thank you, Chirag, for elaborating in detail. So here I am going to explain the proposed recommendation system design that we have followed throughout the paper. So we have two entities here. One is new hotels and one is the user. So we cluster the hotels. We use the k-mean clustering techniques where we clustered the hotels. So for this experiment, like first we like I would like to explain like we have used the Airbnb data that we have downloaded from the inside Airbnb website. So we have downloaded both the hotel listing data and the user review data. For this experiment, we have like gone through the lot of steps. The first step is the data collection and the pre-processing, where we collect the data from Airbnb and we enrich the data, we filter the data, we removed all the null values, and we also filter the columns that is not required for our research. So that is the part of data collection and the data pre-processing. After that, once we have all the clean data in the system, we use the clustering technique to improve hotels. As you can see in the image, we use the price and the number of reviews feature to draw the clusters of the hotels. So for that, we use the k-mean clustering techniques where we have plot all the hotels and then find the centroids. Then we find a similarity between two clusters used based on the Euclidean distance. So as you can see, we have around 10 to 20 clusters in the image, and in each cluster, every hotel we represented with like different color. So once we have all the hotels that are clustered, after that we work on the user data set. So in the user data set, what we have done, can you move to the next slide, Chirag?
Sure, please.
So in the user data set, what we have done, we have first enriched enrich the user profiles. So first we got all the information that we're going to use in the system. After that, we run the association rules. We know for the association rules, we run the FP growth algorithm. So in the FP growth algorithm, we have the user data in which we have the user review, and we know the hotel cluster ID. So we use the FP growth algorithm to identify the frequent item set that contains a list of clusters that can be combined together. For example, if we have 5 users, all 5 users booked hotel in cluster 1 and cluster 2, then we combine both the cluster IDs as a frequent item set. When a new user will come and book the hotel in cluster 1, since both cluster 1 and cluster 2 are frequent item set, we can also recommend hotels from cluster 2 to the users, even though same users haven't booked the hotel from other clusters, but based on the frequent item set, we have enriched the user profile, we have expanded the number of clusters based on the FP growth frequent item sets. After that, we have all the recommendations in the system for a particular user. We have like evaluate the quality using the matrix. So for that, generally, we can use the precision, accuracy, recall, and F1. But in our case, we have used the accuracy. So what we have done to evaluation, we find out the accuracy of the recommendation system with the clustering approach only. And then we find out the accuracy of the combined system where we have used both association rules and clustering, and then find out the accuracy. Then we compare the both the accuracy over the time, like for 5 users, for 10 users, for 200 users, to check how our system is performing. So that was the part of the like how we designed the system and how we implemented it. Now I will transfer the conclusion part and the result part to the Chirag so that he can explain about the numbers, what accuracy we got for the both the methods. He will explain in detail.
So let's look at the result part here. Or the conclusion part. So our method, which is a integrated or the combination method, which we have called here, and our accuracy we have received 78%, close to 80%, and the regular or the traditional method, which have received little over 60%, so it's around 63, 65%. So clearly, our recommendation systems have better efficiency, and in terms of the recommendation, which can better the user experience. So that's we are looking here. Now let's look at the conclusion part. In this work, the assumption was that out of the hotels given as the recommendations, only those which are having a predictions rating of more than 2 are relevant to the users. The accuracy value were obtained for 200 numbers of users. The accuracy calculation of the implemented system is shown in figure here, previous figure which we have seen. And our accuracy is 79%, and which we have clearly discussed previously, which is an overall improvement of 28% was obtained on the using the combination technique over the clustering technique. And now let's look at the future work for our part. For now, we use only one site hotel listing and review data. Later, we can combine multiple site data and multiple location data to get better accuracy, which we can have more parameters. Then it will be better recommendation system considering overall aspect. Also, we might track users click activity data and web cookies to mine important features. New advancements are required to be researched that can drastically enhance the versatility of the recommendation framework. That's about it. Thank you, Professor, for giving us this opportunity to create this project. Monica.
Thank you, Professor. So thank you, Chirag, for going through from the research from beginning and till the end. So it was a great experience. Yeah, thank you so much.
Good morning.